Hello everybody, this is Casey from 2290 Tax, and I'm here today to answer a really frequently asked question. We're actually doing a two-part tutorial here, and it has to do with signature authorization. I get a lot of questions, who can sign this for my client? And the bottom line is really that the taxpayer needs to sign their own tax returns. There's only 3 circumstances in which the IRS gives permission for someone other than the taxpayer to sign their return, and that's if the taxpayer is suffering from disease or injury, or is continuously absent from the United States for more than 60 days, or if specific permission is requested of and then granted by the IRS. Otherwise, the taxpayer always has to review and sign their own return. You, the paid preparer, cannot sign it for them. Now, there are 2 forms that you can use to get the signature from the client. The first is the 8453EX, and that's used by paid preparers when they have a PTIN, or a Preparer Tax Identification Number. If you have questions about the PTIN, we have another YouTube video that talks about PTIN specifically. You should check that one out. The second form is the 8879EX, and that's used by paid preparers with a PTIN and an EFIN. An EFIN is the Electronic Filer's Identification Number, and we have another YouTube video about that. If you have questions about the EFIN, check that out. For this video, I'm going to focus just on one form at a time. It's going to be Form 8453EX. So this is the one that you use when you have a PTIN and you're preparing tax returns for your clients. Okay, this form is in 3 parts. Part 1 up here has the taxpayer information. Part 2 is where the taxpayer signs, and Part 3 is where you, the paid preparer, will sign. And I'm going to go over each of these parts in detail and show you how to fill them out. Okay, Part 1, you need to fill out all the information here that's listed in blue. On the very top of the form, we're going to start with the tax period. As the years change, or if you're making up for lost time, you'll just put the correct tax period. Right here, you're going to put the client's business or personal name, depending on their corporation type, and their EIN number. And you need to also make sure you fill in their tax amount. I see a lot of these that come in without the tax amount. The last thing you want to do on this first part is check the box for the appropriate form that you're filling out. For most of ours, we see 2290 because we're 2290 tax, so for most of our clients, they fill out that checkbox. Okay. This is Part 2. This is where the taxpayer will sign. It's the declaration of the taxpayer, and it actually says down here, I, the taxpayer, declare that the information I have given, blah, blah, blah. They're stating that to the best of their knowledge, it's true and correct, and they'll need to sign here. We like to put the PIN on it for our clients, and then they'll date. And I just want to emphasize here, I know it's hard to get a hold of these guys. I know they're on the road. I know they just want you to handle it for them. A fax copy of this form is completely acceptable to the IRS, but you have to have client signature. Okay. This is Part 3, the last part of the form. You're going to worry about the blue box down here. You're going to put the preparer's name, so that's the person who actually prepared the return, not necessarily the boss or the company owner, but the person who actually put the paper together, and then they'll sign it here. And then the rest of this information over here has to do with the business information. So it's the business address, it's the business EIN, the business PTIN number, and the business phone. Okay. So just to quickly review parts 2 and 3, because I know that's the confusing stuff. Client signs here. You want to make sure you have their PIN number here and the date here. And you, the paid preparer, will sign here with your PTIN here. That's different than a PTIN. And you'll also want to date it here. You want to make sure that you fill out this whole section completely, because a copy of this form is going to the IRS. They are going to see it. They are going to review it. So you want to make sure that it's complete. And that's Form 8453. That's the whole thing. If you have any more questions about how to fill out the form, or why you need it, or how you can get your taxpayers to sign it, you can call me directly. I'm Casey. I'm available from about 9 to 5 Pacific time, and my direct line is 909-596-0050. And you can also call me toll free. And I will look forward to hearing from you, and just let us know what we can do to help. That's why we're here.